Okay, this is my 2023 Chrysler Pacifica. It is not a hybrid. After the advantage to the hybrid is you can run that air conditioning during the summer months. The disadvantage is that battery is expensive and it can go out in like 7 years and it can be $16,000. So I went with a non-hybrid. But I'm getting ready, I just vacuumed it like I said. I'm getting ready to set it up for camp mode. And I'll just little bits at a time videoing. I'm gonna, do I say that enough? But I'm gonna put in, I had at one time, well here, let me show you. This was the carpet. I would lay down on it, on the floor, but see how that is? And then it just made a mess. I didn't feel like dealing with that when I got home. So I just have this. It won't even cover up the whole thing, but I figure I'm gonna put my cot right there, and I'm gonna probably bungee the middle of it down to that right there. The rug will probably go right there. I put my refrigerator right here, and it, while driving, it plugs into that right there. It's a set power. I really like it. I did try to do, I was going to do one of these videos on one of my camp trips, but I got hurt pretty bad on the trip, and that was it. No videos. So let me go ahead, and in this corner of my garage, with the exception of the bicycle, this whole area here is camp stuff. So let me get going. Okay, I got the rug put in. Like I said, it's not that big because the refrigerator is going to go right here anyway. It's a set power dual, so it has a little freezer and fridge. And this is my cot. I actually got this directly from Coleman. I think Wally World carries them too, but it was actually the time that I got it, it was cheaper at Wally. And obviously this isn't level, but I've got just some rag towels that I take, and I will level it up when I get to the campsite by just putting towels underneath it wherever needed. And honestly, I don't mind my head being at a little bit of a incline. And look at that, I just noticed there's some trash muffin wrapper. It's not mine. Anyway, so I put those rugs there. That one's real cushy, so when you get in on your knees. And then let me get this put up. Okay, the cot is in. This is what I sleep on when I camp. There'll be a bungee here to here, and then that helps keep that stabilized. And then, like I said, underneath here, the carpet right there. Yeah, I don't know that you can see it. Yeah, you kind of can right there. I can put a bungee from there to there, and that should be plenty to secure it because the seats are underneath there. And so that's what we're looking at so far. I mean, it's roomy. See, if you look and see, and I still have all this space here. I thought potentially maybe one day just getting a trifold mattress, but this is what I have. This is what I'm rolling with. Okay, I'm not going to put this in right this second, but I was going to show you. This is a leaf guard for your gutters, and see how it has that little channel in it, that little channel right there. And then I had to cut that to round that off. This end I had to trim a little bit as well. And then you see how it has a screen too. I thought about spray painting it black, but I didn't. But all that said, just to say, hang on. Oh, since I bought this too, since last time I went camping, I did buy these. I actually got it off-brand, and they were pretty reasonable. They just go on with a heavy-duty double-sided tape, so that way when it's raining. But this, with the window down, that will go in to the, you can roll the window down, that'll go into the channel of the window, and then you have a screen. See how it would look better black? I think it would be anyway, but I didn't get to that. See, that is my tent that goes over the hatch, and it extends your space. I put that right there. Like I said, my fridge is going to go here. You've heard me say that 5,000 times now. And then this, this is, I need to go through these, but this is kitchen stuff mostly, cutlery. Here's some of my bungees, and I'll need those. I'm going to keep those out to bungee the bed down for driving. Like I said, that's cutlery, that's spatulas, it's everything you need for cooking. It was one of those Prime Bill things. I'll just tell you, I spent 3 years gathering all this stuff up and just buying stuff here and there at a time. But just some kitchen supplies. There's scissors, spatula, knife, can opener, some microfiber towels, utensils, ladles, all the things, a peeler, a strainer, tongs. These I already had, and I just threw them in here. Boop, 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 for, you know, for going boop, 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 boop. And this one goes beep, 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 beep. See, that's the difference. I already had those. And that's what's in there. Basically everything you need for cooking utensil-wise. This is just a heat guard for my stove. I don't think I'm going to pull it out. This video will be 5,000 minutes long if I pull everything out. But it's just folded up accordion style. Goes behind my cooking stove. I'm actually kind of looking for something. I'm getting my fans out so that I can have them all charged up. And this is a bowl. Stainless steel on the inside. I really don't like to use plastic, yet here I am, but I'm not going to eat out of this either. These are screens. I'm trying to remember. These would go in the front windows, but I'm thinking they didn't fit. If they don't, I'll get rid of them. I just couldn't recollect. Clips, clamps, whatever. You just don't know when you need them. I mean, that may sound silly, but I've had to use them for a lot of things. While camping, I don't really use them around the house, so I just keep them in here. And I have 2 plates. They're stainless. And let's see. Well, tow rope. Hope I never need that. And this, a clothesline. I have used that. And this paracord, in case I need paracord. Dog leashes, which I should get the dog leashes out of here. And I don't even like to tether them up at the campgrounds, and I only do it when I'm sitting right with them. I'll do that later. Like I said, I gotta go through this because I have a separate tub for animal stuff. I just want the kitchen stuff with the kitchen stuff. Anywho, here's the second tub. I have this tarp. This tarp was actually intended for 8x10. I had bought some PVC pipes, and anyway, I was going to, this has a little gully in it, and I was going to use some of those clamps, and was going to, let's just sweep stuff up, but I was going to do a canopy. Like I said, my last trip was a bad one. It wasn't bad. I just had a bad accident. And so some things just didn't get done, and I had to leave the trip early because I got hurt pretty seriously. This is a collapsible sink, and to be honest, a lot of this is just hodgepodged in here because I had to leave, and the kindness of strangers packed up, and I just haven't gone through it since I've been back. So it is definitely hodgepodgey. Some skewers, some like a little tool. Got a different place for that. This is more kitchen stuff. I'll definitely go through this before. Carbon monoxide. This mallet. This is. I'm gonna tell you right now. Don't buy one of these to put your stakes in the ground. It was not that great. They have those weighted ones. It sounds like it's sand in it. Get one of those. I need to get one. And so, like I said, I need to really sort these out. I just didn't do it when I got back from that trip because I was a little wounded. But can you see how it fits pretty well underneath there? I do have this BioLite stove that you can either, it's cool, it's the whole setup here. I don't drink coffee, but you can just boil tea in it. That thing, you can grill on it, but you can do it with these wood pellets. I'm not going to take it this time. I've used it in my backyard with my grandkids. They think it's cool. Call it a bonfire. I'll take this. This is my Eureka stove. This was, it's a double burner. It takes propane. I know a lot of people do just the single stoves, and I certainly could probably get by with one, but I do, each time I've used it, I've used both burners, I guess is what I want to say. But I also have, can I find it? Over here. I have this fire maple set up, and this is actually usually what I do my tea in. I just boil my water, and it takes these little canisters. I just leave that all in there for that. And I don't usually do the paper products, but somebody might be going with me. And there's just another one of the cans, and I have also from fire maple, pretty cool. It sits on top of that, and you have a little lantern. I'll probably take it out of the box, but I didn't. There's some pots and pans. I have a cast iron skillet that's stainless, but it's not very thick. I don't use non-stick. Like I said, I try to avoid these things here, but I might not be alone. And I only have my one bowl, and that's my water spigot for when I get my water, matches, trash bags, toilet paper in here, fire extinguisher. I guess I could put that with the fire blanket, propane in here. What else do I got? Band-aids, toilet paper, alcohol, paper towels, trash bags. This is table. When I put it up, I put my stove on it. And look how messy I'm already getting here. Let me go fix that. Okay, it's getting dark out. I waited until this evening hours to do this. It's 8:49. It is like 95 degrees. So that's waiting for it to cool down. But you can see, I hope you can, that most of the space under here is taken up. Stuff's in the crate. That's a tarp. That's my chair. That's my stove. That's my outdoor rug that I put. There's the refrigerator, the set power. This right next to it, right there, that is my table from LL Bean. I might get something a little more compact, but really, I mean, overall, I still have some good space here. I thought if anything that I might downsize on one day might be the refrigerator, just for, you know, quick trips. I haven't bungeed it down yet. Like I said, potentially somebody else is going with me, so I wanted to kind of pack things in to see how it's all going to go. This will all be dog stuff in here, and I probably will go through, I say I probably will, I hope to go through those tubs, but if I don't, no big deal. I mean, everything I need, everything I need is in them. Front seat is still a little bit of a mess as I'm doing the back. I'm going to charge the fans. I have another fan I'm going to charge, plus, hold on, this is my garage. I'll take this. I am renting a site with electricity, so I might even take a bigger fan than that. It's supposed to be in the 60s where I'm going, so we'll see. And that's what it looks like from this side. This won't stay here, and then obviously I've got sheets and stuff, and typically this is fine. The problem is, you see this little cot, how narrow that is. It's actually perfect, but I have two dogs that want to sleep up here with me, and so anyway, but this, I'm going to use those to make window coverings. I should have, it's been in my garage since my last trip. I should have done it a long time ago, but I didn't. And hold on one second. And this is it. This is not a new hairdo. This is when it's dew point of, I think it was 80 today. Anyway, I'm a hot mess. It is hot out. I'm not even complaining. I think my eyeballs sweat. Are they sweating? And like I said, I waited till evening for things to cool down, but I think it's going to be good. I'm going to have to pack like a duffel bag for clothes, and anyway, some cleaning supplies. And like I said, I'm gonna get my fans charged. I have a solar panel here for my power stations, but like I said, I'm staying at a site with electric, so I might not need it. I'm gonna charge that fan, and then I'll I don't know if you can hear my puppies whining. But I'm going to sorry, I'm going to I'm tired. Okay, there we go. It's good to see my messy garage. It's so much better now. I wish I'll have to try to do a video on that when I first moved in 2.5 years ago to what it looks like now. It's vastly improved. But anyway, that's my setup. the space that's available is still decent. I'm sitting here. I'll probably put the crate, the small dog crate in here for Roxy to be in. So really, I'm not even going real soon, but it's not a big deal for me to go ahead and have it set up. And like I said, I'll have time to organize, and I'm going to do that. And sorry, it is hot and I'm sweaty. Can you tell? I'm gonna get that off. That's terrible. Hold on. But you know, it's no big deal to have it set up. I do have, like I said, another vehicle. It's 1,000 years old, or 11 or 12, and so I'll just be driving that around. I got this all vacuumed out. Got a new windshield put in the other day. It was cracked from one end to another, and so I'll just be driving my other vehicle while it just sits here. And I do hope by Thursday afternoon maybe to go through the tubs some. Like I said, I did put the cast iron in there. I have an 8-inch Lodge cast iron, and I cook in that, obviously. But the fridge, I'll take that back out again, to be honest. And the night before I head on the trip in a couple weeks, I will put it in my kitchen the night before, have it plugged in, and that way, you know, it's not gonna be on the struggle bus to cool down. But that's just kind of what I do to do some prepping to go camping. I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, it's not real soon, but it's okay. It's okay for me to, and you know, that way I'm not rushing around like a bandit. Plus, we're supposed to have torrential rains, and this just puts me ahead of the rains that are coming. And we've had some downpours and some storms, and so this way I'm ahead of that, so I'm okay with that. I almost forgot. Very important. This is very important. I gotta go through there. My fire extinguisher's in here. Like I said, I'm gonna go through those. It's for some mores, and this is just an empty tote, so that's more kitchen stuff. But like I said, I'll go through the totes. But this is very important. I'll tell you what this is. This is, like I said, I'll be staying at a place. I'm doing this, and then the light will come on in the van, so I can show you this. I'm not going to take it out right now, but in here, it just goes flat, is a porta potty. It's a box. There's a lid. I'll show it to you once I get to the campsite. But what I do, it has, these are made for this, for portable toilet, and I don't think there's anything else in there. But when I get it set up at the campground, I'll show you. And these are little poo gels, and it does, like it says, liquid waste absorbent, kind of solidifies it like a diaper does. You know, for a baby's diaper or adult diaper. Anyway, I usually set that up in my tent. When I get there, my hatch tent, I'll try to find a photo and put it into this video. And anyway, and that way when I go to the restroom, I just get out of bed. I usually have the hatch up, and then I can go do the deed. Ow! But anyway, let me skadoosh. I'll finish this up in a moment. I've got at the garage kitchen door a couple of whiny baby boykins, they don't understand why they can't be out here just running amok. They don't understand. Okay, it is, what time is it? I'm not even sure. Oh, it's 8 a.m. I've been up for awake for about an hour and a half. And, the puppy showed me grace, and they did not make me get up early. So that was nice. Mox. But anyway, this is the last day of my little camp trip. Just going to show you what the inside looks like. I will say, when we got here, it was pouring down rain. And so we're sitting here at my site, and we were just sitting in the car, and we thought, okay, we're going to go do something about this. Went and bought that tent at Wally. It is, I don't know, not the best. It's definitely not the worst, but the idea was to put it over my tent that's back there. I have a friend with me. She's sleeping in that. That is usually attached to my van, and we just put it there. But I'll just show you my inside setup. I do have some stuff out there. I don't usually leave stuff out at night. Well, it would be in the tent, but I just made sure there's nothing of food items, and it's gonna be dark probably. This is my cot. This is my little friend. There is a cutesy little blanket and cutesy little sheets, but because I have cutesy little partners here, partners with me, Hi, Mox. She's not gonna look. But because of that, I do have, these are wonderful. They're water resistant, washable training pads for pups. I think I own 6 of them. This is a cooling blanket, and then there's another cooling blanket in here, because my furry little boykins. I'm sorry, I'm tired. We hiked 8.5 miles yesterday. Went and saw 3 or 4 waterfalls, and a historic site, 2 historic sites, dog friendly places. So anyway, but I have short sleeves on. I do have the fan going. The air conditioner's in here, or not air conditioner, refrigerator, which this becomes my nightstand. I highly recommend one of these. I use this to do my phone, but it can also be a lantern. It goes off like that. That can go down. The brand is Anchor. If I think about it, I'll put the link below. I'm not affiliated with them in one way or the other. And sorry, I've been noticing a lot of my finger, but it was a good hike. I did fall at one of the waterfalls. This is my second fall. My first one was epic. I got hurt pretty well. This one I didn't get hurt as bad, but I told my friend, she's in the tent, I said, now I know why they call them falls, because I keep falling. Anyway, take that for what you want. It was a good day, but before too long, all this space is gonna fill up with the stuff that's out there, and now I have that. See, there it is. And now blue tent, and to be perfectly candid and honest, we got that to put over my out sunny that usually goes here, because there was no way 2 of us were going to sleep in my van, and I certainly didn't want her getting wet, but that did not appear once we got it together that it was going to fit over that. But the rain let up. While we were hiking, it did rain, and we came back, and I will say the tent, everything in it was dry, and we know for sure that it did rain because how I have this little indoor-outdoor, well, it's really outdoor carpet. It the one in front of hers had puddled up because it's just a tarp, and then also here it had piled up and dropped down, and then all of a sudden it fell out. But I don't know, you can see the lake kind of sort of. I do know that if I come here again, which I'd love to because there's so many little waterfalls nearby, and everything is pretty dog friendly, and you know, gotta take my friends. And what's super sweet is my friend who's staying in the tent there, her mom is watching Calvie, my cat, and so, but let's see, I don't know, get it better. I can see it well. I don't feel like it's conveying that well. Hold on one second. Sorry about that. She wanted to jump up on the bed, and that's why I have these pads on here. This one here, Roxy, this is nice and cushy, and she slept on that, and then I woke up this morning, she had crawled underneath into a little hole under here. The first night here was not a good sleep night. I had that bin underneath here, and this angle, and so my head is on an incline a little bit. That doesn't bother me for sleep at all. Like, it doesn't bother me at all. And so it's actually, you know, comfortable. And boy howdy, though, that was at just the right spot, because it just was that the edge of it was jigging in my back. And it was not a good sleep. And so took that out. I have two of those. They're not that big. I am going to try to consolidate them down to two, just back to the two that I had originally. I'm going to try to not do that third one, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm not sure how it's going to go when we go to put that blue tint in here, because it's packed tight. When I just go by myself, it's not packed as tight. But anyway, it's always nice to be able to just go as minimally as possible, but to still have the things that you need. Oh, like my calic. Anyway, shower last night was cold and fast. Hi, girls. Yeah, they had a good time hiking. Yeah. And this one here, yuck, she fell in the bottom of the waterfall too, right where I did, because them rocks were slippery. Them rocks were slippery. Yeah, they were slippery. Anyway, well, that's it. I'll post this when I get back home. There's really no internet service where we are, which is Oconee State Park, South Carolina. Check it out. It's beautiful here, and I do mean beautiful here. And the temperatures were high 60s in the evening, so very comfortable for sleeping. Didn't need AC, so you know, you just got to camp the weather. If well, you see, I've got a fan going because we're at a site with electricity, so it's going with my refrigerator's going, The fan is going, and then she has a fan, and we all know what this is. This is just a cheapo Wally World one, and it works. We have had no mosquito issues at all. Then I have my trusty Blue Eddy down here. That's my 1000-watt one, and I did use it to like recharge this. This was hanging. Let me do this. Okay, this here, well, that's a screen. It's part of my vehicle, but this here, I need to potentially spray paint them black, but that's the gutter leaf guard. Acts as a screen. You can see the one right there, and then with the clip-on fan, just put that in there, and I just keep it on low. And honestly, let me see. I'm trying to see. Oconee. I don't know how you pronounce it. This is the best run I have. It's not fancy. It does clip on. It can also just stand up. Goes 3 speeds. I know you like my hiking attire here. And then I can't suggest this one. It doesn't last all night. It does have a light. I just put it on low, clip it in the window. I had the other one clipped in the window, and then had the electricity for that one. But my first night I couldn't find my 3-way plug to go into my extension cord, so I didn't have the electric one the first night. But it's incredibly breathable. I mean, I'm in short sleeves, and my skin is actually cool to the touch. And I would imagine all the rain too probably help cool things down. And here in the Blue Ridge Mountains, you're not going to have the humidity on the grand scale that goes on the coast. And so anyway, but I'm gonna let my friend continue to sleep some. We did have a big day yesterday. I gotta get up early because of my roomies. So we've already been on about a 20-minute walk. And yeah, haven't we? She loves me. She loves me. But that is that. I'll talk at you later. This is Whitewater Falls in North Carolina.